One of the things that people ask us here at the 3D Embroidery Letters website is, when I purchase a full set of letters, what do I actually get? And other people will ask, where do I choose what type of file I want? Maybe they want a Tajima file or a Melco file or maybe a PES file, but they don't see a place to choose that. And the reason they don't is because when you purchase a full set, you get all the formats that we offer, so there isn't any reason to choose it. You just get them all, and that way they're yours, and if you happen to switch machines or find or buy another piece of software, you will be able to use whatever file works best for you. If you do happen to purchase a full set and for some reason you have software that you cannot read any of these, you can give us a call or send us an email, and we'll try to work with you and make you a set in a format that you'll be able to read. But first thing we're going to do here is go over what you actually get. And what I'm going to show you here is I've got 3 of the full sets I actually already downloaded. They're in my download directory. This is probably where they would be when you downloaded them from our website. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the brush script here, and it comes in as a zip file. So the first thing I'm going to do is just double click that, and you can see here all the folders that have all the files in that you actually get. So I'll just go through these real quickly. Here's your DST, which are Tajima files, EXP, Melco files, PES files. For those 3, for the 2 1/4, then you'll get a full set for the 2 1/2, and you'll get the full set here as the 2 inches in all 3 of those formats. Now you'll also get the CND files, and you only get one of those because that is a condensed file, which allows you to adjust the size yourself, and those condensed files work best with the Melco software. Some of the other Pulse software out there will also read that, and you're going to get a set of letters in the STI. If you happen to have a data stitch system of software, it will read those, and you'll be able to adjust size with that also. So I'm going to open up one of these, and I'm going to open up the DST. As you can see, you get 26 files here, all the letters, and these were at the 2 1/4 inch, and if you want to see all the files at the 2 1/2 inch, right there you can see those. And so you can go through here, pick which one is going to work best for you. Now, other people will ask, if I don't know, what should I start with? And I will tell you the most popular one is the DST or Tajima files. Those work on almost every system out there, and the other advantage to the DST file is it is the most native format for what we have digitized it in. These were digitized actually in STI, which is an outline format, and they were created, the DST files was created directly from that. So that is the first file type that I would recommend anybody use, or if you're having trouble with CND files or you're having trouble with PES files and you can use the DST, go ahead and drop down to that. You will get the most accurate stitching for what we intended to be from the DST. The other files were created from the DST, and there could be, I'm not saying there is, there could be slight differences between those and the DST. So always try to start with the DST. So you're going to, as you can see here, you get a lot of different files, and you get, in the brush script, you get 3 different sizes. And let's take a look at the 3D Tiffany. There's the zip file that you would get when you purchase it. We'll open that up, and in here you'll see pretty much a similar thing here. You're going to get your Melco, PES, Tajima files. This one also includes an old Ultramatic format for anybody that would happen to want to use that. All 3 sizes there. The condensed, which is the CND files, and on the Tiffany you also get, you know, your numbers 0 through 9. So you get that with that font, and if you read your description on the website, you'll know what comes with that as far as whether you get numbers or not. And with the Tiffany, we have just recently added the 1 1/4 inch, so that's the 175 or 1.75 inch in the Melco, PES, and Tajimas. If you open those up, you can see you get all the numbers and letters, 36 files at the 1 1/4 inch. So one more here we'll take a look at, our curly dot monogram. Now this is not a 3D. These are not 3D files. These are just great files for monograms, whether you're doing it on purses or scarves or something like that. They work great, and what you get with this when you purchase the full set is we'll open up the sew files. You pick your format. You got DST. We're going to go to that, and you'll get every letter in two sizes. You'll get the regular one, which is 4.5 inch, and the small one, which is 2.5 inch. And those are also stitched differently, and I'll show you that in a minute. The other thing you get with that is you get a PDF file that you can print out, and it looks like this. This makes a nice little sell sheet, so your customers, they know what each letter looks like before you sew it, and you don't have to sew out a bunch of samples. You can show them, if they're looking at an F, you know exactly what it looks like there. So you get that PDF, which makes it really nice for you to print out. So I thought the next thing we would do is take a couple files and we'll actually load them so you can kind of see how we would do that. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing we got to do is get them out of this zip file and get them into a location where you keep your embroidery designs. So I'm going to open up the brush script, and let's say we wanted to do the brush 2 1/4, and I will just drag that over here and drop it on a folder that I've got that's called embroidery designs. Now you would put them wherever you keep your embroidery designs. You may have a folder called that, or you may have a folder called something else, but you can just drag them out of there and drop them in there. So now that I've got that moved over there, I'm going to switch over to some embroidery software, and that is the Floriani Total Control. I'm going to click on Open and go to our folder where we saved them in, or we moved them over to, and that was called Embroidery Designs. And wherever you move them on your computer, you would just find that folder. You can see the brush script 2 1/4 inch. That's exactly what we had copied over there, and I'm just going to open that folder, and we'll pick a letter. Let's pick the letter D here, and we'll go ahead and open that up. And as you can see, this is how it opens in the software. I'll change that view a little bit. You can see it a little better. So from there, you could bring it into your embroidery software. Possibly from there, obviously, you would be sending it to your embroidery machine. Maybe you would be adding a design or something with it, something like that. But anyway, that's what how it's going to get into your embroidery software. That's what the letter's going to look like. We'll just go ahead and add another one here. We'll go up here and we'll merge two letters together. Let's get another letter here. Let's get the letter Q. Don't do Q. I don't like the brush script Q. Let's do R. That looks a little better. So we bring that one in, and maybe we're going to do 2 letters staggered on a hat, something like that. You could bring in 2 letters just like that if you're possibly putting it on a hat or whatever you're putting it on. Maybe you're going to do staggered letters. But that's how you would load them into your embroidery software. You can see exactly what you're getting that way. Let's go back over here to our files that we have downloaded, and we'll go back here to the downloads, and I'm going to go to the curly monograms this time, go to the sew files, and I'm going to take these Tajima files, the DST files, and I'm going to copy them over to where I keep my embroidery designs. Drop them over there, come back down here, click on the Floriani Total Control, and we'll take a look at a couple of these letters. We'll go ahead and open. We'll go back here until we get to these Tajima DSTs, which was the curly monograms, and we'll come down to the letter J. Now this will be the J, and it will be 4 inches tall, and we'll change that view again. As you can see, this J, it's done in a fill stitch or tatami stitch, so it's made to sew bigger. If your software allows you and you want to go bigger with that, it's going to be pretty versatile because it's done in a fill stitch. So from 4 inches maybe up to 6 inches or something, you would use that letter, and we could go up here and let's load the same letter here in the small version. And you get all these when you purchase the set. You get the big and the small, and the small one here will open up, and it's 2.5 inches. And this is done in a regular satin stitch. The letter is. So this would be good if you wanted to reduce this down to maybe 1.5 inches or 1 inch even. I think it would work fine in a satin stitch, and maybe go up to 3 inches. And then somewhere between the 3 and the 4 inch, you decide which one you want to use depending on whether you want a satin stitch or a nice tight fill stitch for a larger one. So that gives you a little bit of idea what you get when you buy a full set of letters off of the 3D Embroidery Letters website. Remember, this curly monogram font is not a 3D font, but is very handy and very useful because a lot of people are really getting into the monograms on lots of different items, and it's a great font, and it's only $25, so it's a great thing to purchase, and you don't have to worry about digitizing the letters yourself. You have them all available, and you have a nice little sell sheet to show your customers. So hopefully you got something out of that video, and we'll see you in the next video.